Hi, my name is Brian. Thanks for watching Keys. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to change the oil on your 992 Porsche 911 Turbo S. At home, we're going to cover the physical oil change and also how to reset your oil light. Now, before we get started, let's talk about all of the products and tools you're going to need to do this job at home. Starting with the oil, we are using Liqui-Moly Top Tech 4110 5W40 oil. When selecting an oil, you want to make sure that you select something like Liqui-Moly that is super high quality and has the Porsche C40 certification. If your oil does not meet the certain criteria that the manufacturer recommends, they may be able to void your warranty if something was to go wrong. So be safe and use something that's approved. Now for the filter, our sealing ring, and also our new oil drain plug, we did get genuine Porsche products. This is a $280,000 car. We are not cutting any corners on that. Speaking of the drain plug, these are technically reusable, but because of the car we're working on, we're going to invest the extra couple bucks to make sure it's done right. That being said, you are going to need some specialty tools, including a tool that looks like this, which we're going to have everything linked for you down below. If you haven't changed the oil on your Porsche before, they use these very unique drain plugs, and it requires a special tool that slides in, and then you just do it by hand. But again, like I said, we're gonna have everything linked for you below so you know exactly which one to get. For this process, you're going to also need a 3/8 ratchet, a couple extensions, a good torque wrench, and also a 36mm socket. This is used to remove the cap that houses the oil filter. And then because Porsche likes to be difficult, you do need to purchase a dedicated scan tool that is going to help you reset the light. Unfortunately, they do not give you the ability to reset the light inside the car like most others, so you are going to have to buy a special tool, but we're going to show you which ones we use and recommend later on in the video. Now for today's video, we will be using the lift strictly for camera angles. If you're doing this at home, we highly recommend that you use a jack and jack stands or something much easier like race ramps. So with that, let's put the car up in the air and get started. Next, we need to pop this rear deck over here. That's where you're going to get access to your oil fill and also your oil filter. So simply open your door and lift up on this back lever. Next, what we're gonna do is just throw some microfibers on the wing to protect it. And then we're going to go over to our oil cap and you're going to remove it like so. Once you do that, we're going to be able to remove this plastic trim. All you need to do is just gently lift up and it's going to release all of the clips. And you can carefully pull this out of the way. If you take a look over here, there's some clips that look like this. These are going to attach to little pieces of plastic that look like this. And then you have these little balls that go into a rubber grommet. Then with your oil cap, I like to just rest it on top. This is going to enable it to still have some air that goes in to make sure that the oil is going to come out nice and smooth. Whenever you're doing your oil changes, you want to make sure that you don't do it on a dead cold engine. You want to do it when the oil is warm, but be very careful not to burn yourself. All right, so to drain your oil, you want to look for this little plug over here towards the front of the engine. You're going to use your special tool. We have all parts and tools listed in the description. What you want to do is notice how this is. So you can see that it is left to right. If you look at this line right there, and there is a little arrow to help you line up. So you put the arrow with the line when you go to put a new one back in. So just carefully remove this without getting burned, and we'll drain our oil. Then you can take your brand new oil drain plug, twist it up, and then stop when everything is aligned and everything is flush. You'll feel it slightly click. It is possible to over torque it and then it won't seal. So make sure that you don't go crazy with it, just go nice and light. All right, the next thing we need to do is we need to swap out our oil filter and our sealing O-ring. To do that, you need to first remove this fan. It's held in with these 3 grommets. There's 2 in the back and 1 in the front. Gently lift up on the front and then lift out from the back like that. And then you're going to see a little connection that looks like this. Take the little red tab, pull it out like that, press down on it, and it'll pull right out. Next, what I like to do is take a bunch of microfibers, throw them down here, just so we don't spill anything, because you have things like your hot turbos and all down there. Then using a 36mm socket, like the one we have available at Kies.com, you're going to remove this. Then once it starts to get loose, I like to do it by hand. Go out nice and slow, making sure that you're not dripping any oil on anything. Okay, so here's our cap. You're gonna grab your filter. There you have it, just like that. So then you're going to take your old O-ring, remove it and discard it, and take a new O-ring and make sure that it ends up in this big groove right here. It won't physically fit in any other groove, but just make sure you get that in there good. And then with some of the oil that's still in here, you can just rub it along to lubricate the O-ring. Next, what we're going to do is take our filter. You're gonna pop it on down in here. Make sure it goes all the way down. That side's a little bit fatter than this, which is why we do that. Move some of these for a little more clearance. Okay, then you're gonna take your oil cap, put that on, make sure that everything goes in nice. Then start to tighten it down by hand, then tighten it down and torque it to 25 Newton meters. Then you can clip your fan back in. Make sure you hear a click and lock it. And pop the back 2 grommets in, then the one in the front. Now what we need to do is we need to add 8.3 liters of our liquid moly oil. Now what you can do is position this over the clips. I like to start on the left, get everything in place. Perfect. And then take my oil cap, click it on. Now, once you've filled your car with oil, the next thing we need to do is we need to check the oil level. Unfortunately, just like BMW, Porsche doesn't like to use manual dipsticks. They like to do everything electronically. What you want to do from here is have the car on a flat and level surface, then get your car up to temperature. From there, you're going to go from this screen here, you're going to hit your wheel in the middle, and you're going to scroll down to oil level. But when you hit it, it's not going to read, it's going to say no measurement. From here, you're gonna turn off your car for about 2 minutes, and then we'll check the level. We're just going to click it in accessory mode. All right, so it's been a couple minutes. So let's go in here, go down to oil level. And as you can see, our oil level is okay. Now, I do want to let you know, this is actually the second time that we did this. When we first did it, we were about halfway between minimum and maximum. So we added another ½ liter of oil to the system, and now we are up to that max. So if it happens to you, if you're a little bit low, I would recommend adding a ½ liter at a time, check the values, and then go from there. Once you verify that your oil level is correct, we can move on to resetting your oil light. Now, unlike with older cars where you can just hold a lever, push some buttons, and then reset the oil light in the car, it doesn't work like that on the 992 Porsche 911s. You need to have a bi-directional scan tool like this one. We are not endorsed, we are not sponsored by Autel, but we are using the Autel MX808S. We found this one to work very well. We used some cheaper ones, and unfortunately, they didn't work. But we've tested the scanner on my 992 4S and also this 992 Turbo S, and it seems to work great. So let me show you how to do it. The first thing you want to do is plug the OBD into the OBD port, which is down by my foot. Then you're going to be presented with this screen. From there, pop the car in accessory mode. Just make sure your foot is not on the brake. You don't actually want to start the car. Then from there, we're going to hit service up here. And then at the top left, it says oil reset. We're gonna hit that button. Scroll to the next page, go to Porsche. From there, you need to tell it what kind of car it is. So we're going to do the automatic selection. You do this by hitting this button over here that says read, and then it'll pop up your VIN, and then you just hit OK. And as you can see, it says that it's a 2024 992, which it is. So we hit yes. From there, we can hit hot functions, and the only option is oil reset. So hit that. Then from there, we're going to hit auto oil reset. It's going to tell you that you need to be connected to the internet. So hit OK again. And then over here where it says oil service, we're gonna hit that. Hit OK. And then with that, your oil light has been successfully reset. So as you just saw, changing the oil in your 992 Turbo S is a very easy process. So whether you're looking to save money or maybe you just don't trust people touching your car, it's a very easy thing that you can do in your garage. Again, all you need is a set of race ramps, some liquid moly oil, a filter, and one of these gadgets, and you will be good to go. We have all of that, including the tools, linked for you conveniently down below. If you need anything to maintain or modify your Porsche, be sure to visit us at kies.com, Kies.com. Reach my team at info@kies.com. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.